Hello, my name is Joseph Alai. Welcome to my channel. And today I'd like to talk about two distinctions between success and failure in manifesting. So, the first one I'd like to talk about is imagining the end. So, in the Bible it says, what you desire, believe you have already received it, and you shall. And so if we dissect that statement, it says, believe you have already received it, which means after you have already received it. So, and it says, when you pray, do this. So first of all, what is prayer? Prayer is believing that you have already received something. But how do you believe that you already received something? You construct a scene that would imply that you have already received the thing that you desire. And that is what living in the end is. So, in order to live in the end, we must first ask ourselves, how would it feel, or what would it be like if I was now the person that I want to be? So if I wanted, say, a 50% increase in salary, I would think of something that would imply that I have already received a 50% increase in my salary. So maybe that would be a celebration dinner using some of the extra excess money that I'm now receiving from my job, right, with loved ones. So if that were the case, I would think, where would I be? What would I smell? What would I taste? What would I touch? How would I feel emotionally if I were at this scene that already implies that I was now the person that I wanted to be? And once you do that, then it comes to, how do I actually believe that I have already received it, right? So belief is just constructing a scene and feeling like you're really in that scene, in your imagination. So in order to do that, right, with my current senses, that's not something that I have. So that means to shut off the senses and bring that scene into my imagination. And when I bring that into my imagination, I feel the feelings of the wish fulfilled. And that is what it's talking about when it says the end, right? So to go to the end. The reason this is important is because anything that we impress upon the subconscious mind is basically copied and expressed on the screen of space. So if we are imagining middle ground, then we will manifest more middle ground. So just be sure, right? This is one of the differences between success and failure, and it doesn't tell us how. It doesn't ask you how is it going to be done, right? Believe you have already received it. That's it. So some of the questions I ask myself in order to catch that mood is saying, okay, if I could snap my fingers right now and be that person, what would it feel like? What would it be like? Or if there was nothing in between me and my end goal, what would that be like? What would it feel like, right? Doing that takes a lot of the strain and stress out of actually feeling like we have the thing that we want, right? If you could wave a magic wand and be where you want it to be, what would that be like? So we want to find a condensed version of the scene of the wish fulfilled, right? And that is the way to imagine the end. That is the way to manifest the thing that we desire. Because, like I said, once we impress that thing on our subconscious mind, we don't know when, we don't know how, but we know that it must come to pass. And so a bridge of incidents will unfold. Things will start to move in this world. However many things that have to move for you to get your desire, I have no idea. But they will move. This world is only a side effect of the things that we have imagined. Even right now, this very video, there's something that had been alive in you that manifested you being aware of this video. And any number of incidents had to have unfolded for you to end up here. And the thing is the other possibility is that this video right here is also a part of a bridge of incidents for something bigger. We don't know what or how, right? It says God's ways are greater than our ways. So that means we should not figure out how. To figure out how or to put limitations on the thing, or it's basically like trying to tell God or the universe how to do that job. And we can only be aware of one thing at a time. But in the awareness of God, or they say in quantum physics, all things exist now in infinite different states, and that's the perception of God. So He has unlimited view of the ways to get you to the thing that you desire. So the second thing I want to talk about is once we have constructed that scene. This is the second thing that is important to clarify, an important distinction, is we must enter into the scene in first person point of view. So this goes back to that verse that I quoted in the beginning. When you pray, believe that you have already received it, and you shall. So as I said, the imagination is the thing which impresses upon the subconscious mind, and the subconscious mind executes and copies it in this world. So when we go into our imagination, when we shut off the senses, we want to then enter into the scene in first person point of view. That means looking through your own eyes in this imagination, not looking at it as if it is a movie. This is another distinction between success and failure. And the reason being is because we want to believe that we have already received it. So if I am in my imagination and I see someone else doing the thing that I wanted, that is exactly the thing that is going to be manifested. We want to view the imagination as if we are always looking through our own eyes. That is the thing which impresses upon the subconscious mind. So when we imagine, always do so in first person and imagine the end. Imagine that you are feeling what you're feeling, seeing what you're seeing, touching what you're touching, tasting what you're tasting, talking to whomever you want to talk to. But do it as if you are the actor in the play, not as if you are watching it. Believe that we have already received it. Believe that we have already received it, and we shall. So, anyway, just a brief video, but thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, leave comments, and make sure you hit the subscribe button, the bell icon, and go to the website sovereignmind.com for more stuff like this. And thank you for watching.